lit up. We're about to cross the bridge into Ohio. And we'll get to see where the Bengals practice. Anyhow, that is right as we're crossing the bridge up ahead. Up at the lodge, and look at this. This is incredible. It is right on the beach. Holy crap, it was a heck of a ride getting here, but this is beautiful. Hey, it's Cindy. Brian and I have made it back about 8:40. It is now 10:28 p.m. on Saturday night from the meetup in Eaton, Ohio. Andi and Susan, you guys did a great job with the meetup. Thank you so much for organizing all that. It was a lot of fun. On the way home, there was no way I could do video like I did on the way out. But on the way home, we got caught up in some torrential downpours. You could not see anything. You couldn't see the lines on the road. You couldn't see the car in front of you except for his brake lights. And it was just horrible. And it seemed like it went forever before we could see any kind of semblance of road. But the important thing is we made it home safe and we had a great time. I did get videos. Everyone there told their story. And instead of taking pictures this time, I recorded their stories. And I will be including those. It might be separated up into multiple videos. Just a matter of how I can get it done, but I will definitely get it done because there are some very awesome stories and inspirational stories, and it's just incredible. There were people there that had only been there. This is the first time there. Some I had not met with all the meetups I've gone to, but it was really great. Brian, did you have a good time? He's over here chowing down because he was hungry.
Yep, I did.
Yeah.
Eating food.
He's eating some leftover food from the event. But yeah, it was great. I can't say it enough. If you have the opportunity to go to an event, local or a bigger event, just do it. It is so much fun and it's so rewarding. Because when you've got community together, it's just, it warms your heart because there are so many like-minded people in the same room that it gives you that motivation to keep on going. And it was great. These are a couple pictures of the cloud formations that we saw on the way home. Brian took the pictures for me so I could include them.
We're gone. I thought, I won't do that. Huh? Keto last year. Oh yeah, so I had never been.
9 months ago. I met all you guys.
But when I heard all those people stand up there and say that they were doing this all by themselves, and I thought, that was not good. So I thought, I will support my wife in this. Now, I am a type A personality. I have a high threshold for pain. I was in Miami Beach on March 15th. South Beach, walked 5 miles a day. Yes, April 22nd, I had a quintuple bypass. Five grafts. So, women do not present like men do. High tolerance for pain, which means I didn't notice anything. The only reason I'm alive is because I was doing keto and upping my steps and upping my zone minutes, and I did it every month. I upped them by so much. When I got to March, I didn't have any problems. I came home. It was 40 degrees cool up here, and all of a sudden I was like, man, I'm having a really hard time getting my minutes in. And so I went to the doctor and I said, I never had this problem before. I don't understand what's different. And she said, are you the only way you're doing zone minutes? And I'm like, yes. So, she's like, I want you to go over to the emergency room and they're gonna give you a blood test. And the blood test is for Truemed, which is a cardiac enzyme. It's in your blood, then there's something going on. So between that point and a month later, I had quadruple bypass. Now, I never had the cardiac event, and because I never had the cardiac event, I'm 2 months out now, and my scars are healing really good. I'm back at work. So all of that worked really well, but it was only because of keto. Because I knew, was there something not right here? So it is my goal now to try and make some awareness for women in that we are taught from a very early age that we take care of everybody else and then yourself. If we continue to do that, we will be dying out much faster because now our heart attack rates are higher than men. And they do all the research on how it affects men. I don't have it, you don't have any, pain in your shoulders, none of that. My only symptom that I had was I felt a pressure on my back. Why would anyone would think that would be a heart thing? They would. Then I had pressure on my wrist. And I thought, that's just weird. But my doctor was very smart and she was like, well, go do this. But I went to the emergency room every Friday for 3 weeks in a row. They would do the test. First time they did the test, I was at 44. Then I was at 28. Average is 12. Third time, I was an 8. They're like, okay, we've done EKGs on you. They all look the same. I did a stress test. You're fine. But one of the emergency room doctors did a CT scan. And he said, I did notice that, there were a couple little spots on the forehead. So when I saw the cardiologist, which in order to get the cardiologist appointment, I had the stress test on Monday. And I said, now what? And they all just looked at me and you were crickets. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. I called the office, called my insurance company and said, now, I need to see a cardiologist this week. I don't care where I have to go, but you will get me one. She said, well, I scheduled for 28 offices. Let me see if I can find them. She found one an hour away, and I was okay with that. And he's like, well, we're going to get you a cardiac cath. I went to the cardiac cath. They went in, came right back out and said, you're sane, and you're going to get a triple. And then I ended up with 5. So I had grafts and everything else, but I never actually had a heart attack. So I'm in good shape. I back up to 2 miles a day now, and so we're slowly moving. But I'm like, people, you need to understand, if you aren't your own advocate, nobody else will be. And had I not pushed, this all happened in the span of a month. Had I not pushed, if I'd have had a cardiac event, they told me I would die. I had 75%, 80, 85, 90, 95 approved. I'm 60. So it's like, oh no. So we need to take care of ourselves, and you need to be your own advocate. And so it's like, all right, this is something we need to do, but had I not been like you guys, we'd never know. And that's what my doctor said, well, how did you know? Because she's been treating me for 10 years. She's like, you don't have high blood pressure, you don't have any of these things. And I'm like, yes, that's the problem. I don't have any of these things, that's how I die. So it's like, okay, we need to get the word out for that, take care of ourselves. You gotta be your own advocate. And, you can listen to whoever you want. When my cardiologist saw me yesterday, he said, well, is your cholesterol high? And I said, well, I guess that depends on which side of the persuasion you're on. Because, some doctors say this, other doctors say this. Yeah, now, he made me do a blood panel yesterday. So I told him, I said, I've been on a statin for 10 years. It didn't do anything for me. So I stopped taking it. And he's like, well, if we're going to do heart surgery for you, we're going to have you take a statin. And I thought, well, you know what? You did do 5 on me, so I will take it for this moment. The moment he looks at those results, it's going to be like, well, my total cholesterol is 131. My triglycerides are 205, but let's be honest, if I ate 10 Oreos, they wouldn't have been 205. They would have been, in the toilet. So there's ways to trick cholesterol or triglycerides, so that doesn't happen. But I'm like, started after Keto Palooza with her, and I did triple B&E. That was not an easy thing. She had done it once by herself, and she's just like, it's so hard. And I'm like, well, it's okay. We'll do it together. And we made it through, and we did it. But I'm like, okay, I need more variety than that. So I now have, thanks to several of my wonderful friends, many cookbooks for what kind of different things that you can make.
And we finally found some.
Yes, so yes, I found crunch fine.
Susan,
I like crunch, so when I can't find it, it's like, I said, I'm gonna cheat day. And she's like,
Susan, Susan, you got a question? I have a question for you. Over here, over here.
yes.
Did you ever have a CAC score done?
No, but I didn't, none of my tests suggested I needed one.
Right.
So, yes. So that's the thing. It's like the blood test with the troponin, that's a simple, easy thing. And the moment that cardiac enzyme is in your system and in your blood, you immediately know you have a problem. So that gives you your heads up, and you can get a blood test done anywhere. You don't feel good one day? Go have a blood test done. Nothing wrong with that. But specify that that's what you want. Because I would have never known otherwise.
Yep.
And what's funny is, like I said, I went back to that ER 3 Fridays in a row. She was beginning to really dislike Fridays. 3 Fridays in a row, and each time they gave me the test, I was a 44, a 28, and then an 8. I was actually normal. And they were like, we don't understand that at all. I've never had any heart problems, so they had no EKGs to compare to. And they're like, well, you're a little low here, but it looks like all of yours are like that, so. Oh, why I went to the ER? Oh, well. I woke her at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, what's wrong? And I said, you're gonna have to get up. Why? Well, because I can feel my heart pounding, and I can't make it calm down. We got to the ER, and the ER asked me, like, by the 3rd time, they were just like, are you sure you're safe at home? I'm like, I'm fine at home. And she goes, but you always seem to be much better once we get here. I said, yes, because here, if anything happens to me, you can treat me. But it's like, no, there's something wrong here. I've always had pretty good control, be able to calm myself down and do that, but I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, no. So we need to do that. Okay.
My story is short and sweet, started in 2017. Actually, it started in 2010, 2009 when I met her, Susan, my wife. 2010 when we got married. Living a happy life. I've never been an overweight woman until I was happy with my life. So I ate, and I ate, and I ate, and I ate. 2017, living my happy life with my children and my wife. And my children's father falls dead of a heart attack at 47 years old. Now I know for 13 years I was married to him what he was eating, and I was eating the same thing. So my children lost their father, and I said I need to get better. And I went to intermittent fasting and keto, lost about 30 pounds. COVID hit, and I gained it all back. 2022, I found Keto Connect. Yeah, that's about right. Needed to lose weight, and I started. I did Optavia for 8 months, lost 30 pounds. Soy screwed up my body really badly. Went on vacation to Las Vegas over a week. We went and I lost 8 pounds going from Optavia to keto. All of that water weight was gone. It's like, okay, that's good. So, was introduced to carnivore when I found Two Crazy Ketos and Keto Chow, and I'd never heard about that. So, Dr. Berry, Nisha Berry, list any of those that have been to any conference. Susan and I went to Keto Palooza last October. Met 85% of you guys there. That's why we now have a Safe Harbor Live community. And
Let's start a YouTube channel.
That's, there is a YouTube channel called Safe Harbor Live, but I also have one too.
And what's yours called?
I am Milady Laugh a Lot, and I will be on Dustin's live streams and Two Crazy Keto's live streams and Cindy Demanche's live streams. But it's a blog about my health journey, and my children needed me, and now my granddaughter needs me because she's so much fun to play with. And that's my story. Susan's heart attack, or almost heart attack. Susan's surgery to prevent any heart. She's also my reason. So we need to retire in about 4 years, and we need to travel to Europe and to all the places that we want to go, and we want to live another 15 years, have a life together. So thank you. And I want
Just so you know.
She's like, you do you, but.
I would like to live another 30, and my heart is young enough now.
Yeah, we'll see how long. But I want to thank everybody here. You guys have made my day. And there will probably be one next year, so this will be an annual event. So write it on your calendar. Next summer sometime.
Now that I had to convince her of it, yes. We will make it an annual event.
Had a weight issue my whole life, and I've tried losing weight numerous times, and I heard back 21, started hearing about carnivore, so I tried it, not thinking it didn't really do much, and weight just started falling off. You know, a lot of other things got better, like knee pain went away, acid reflux went away. What else? I've been doing basically carnivore for the past 3 years.
So what are the benefits you've seen?
Well, weight loss, knee pain, acid reflux gone. Yeah, I used to wake up, couldn't even make a fist, you know, working in construction and stuff. Haven't had any issues with that. Energy, stiffness. Like, if I'd sit down for lunch, I'd get back up, couldn't even stand, you know, took a while before you could stand up straight. Yeah, amazing.
Yep, that's awesome.
All right, so my name is Peter. Hello. So my journey started on December 21st of 2021. So at that time, I've struggled with weight my entire life. A few things kind of intersected for a few months. I was trying to lose weight. I was what I would say is a hardcore sugar addict on a scale of 1 to 10. I like to say I was about a 19. And I was literally at my wit's end. I started searching for Overeaters Anonymous. That's the point I was at that point in my life. I was very desperate. Anyway, I'm also very frugal, so in order to save money on insurance, I had to go do one of those screenings where you get your weight and your blood tests and stuff like that. So I had to do a fasting blood test on December 21st. The first thing I get back from my doctor is, because everything is on an app, he sends me a message, "Are you sure you were fasting?" I was like, "Yes." So my fasting blood sugar was 135. Then my A1C came back at a 6.8. So I had no clue that I was headed towards type 2 diabetes. And it was one of those events where it kind of rocks your world. So 4 days before Christmas, my wife and I think my wife Andi was freaking out, probably a little bit more than I was, but I was freaking out. So just some immediate changes. I never really took any action, but I read Dr. Fung's book, The Obesity Code. So within a matter of minutes, it was a simultaneous decision of I will no longer eat sugar, I will no longer drink alcohol, and I'm going to start intermittent fasting. So we started watching YouTube videos, found a lot of people in the community, beat diabetes, Dr. Ken Berry, quite a few people that I don't remember off the top of my head. And what I found is after a few days of getting through the addiction and the effects, I forget what you call it. Yeah, the detox. Thank you. What I found is my craving for sugar. Not only did it reduce, it went away. It was gone. The brain fog went away. My energy levels went through the roof. I just felt so much better. And then my focus was really the lab results. I wanted to get healthy because my entire family has type 2 diabetes. A lot of them are disabled. I've watched that disease destroy their lives. So I wasn't really concerned about the weight anymore. I was concerned about the lab results. So long story short, I just cold turkey made those changes. My doctor wanted me to go back he said a few weeks so we could discuss my type 2 diabetes diagnosis. And I said, nope, I am not going back for 90 days because I'm going to see what I can do in 90 days. Long story short, 90 days, it went from a 6.8 to a 4.9, which is low. Thank you. And I felt so much better. And the weight loss, I've lost like 100 pounds, which is, like at work and stuff, people always, how do you lose the weight? I'm like, I don't care. The weight was a side effect. I'm more concerned about my blood work being healthy. So now it was going to work, coming home, and basically collapsing on the couch because I was always so exhausted. Now I get home and we do anywhere daily from probably 2 to 5 mile hikes, and it's just fun. So anyway, that's my story.
That's awesome.
I too had spent years extremely heavy, and I knew I had health problems. I avoided going to the doctor for reasons because I was so heavy. I didn't need to be told I had problems, and I tried every diet known to man. And one day I saw a program on PBS about keto, and I had not heard of it. I'm an investigative person, so I went and read books about it, and then I listened to programs about it. And I didn't ask anybody about it this time. I just decided to find out on my own, because my main emphasis and question was, why was I failing on each one of these diets? I'd be okay for a month or two, and I would just go right off the cliff. And what I found out from this particular plan was that I was addicted to it. I had an addiction, like somebody to alcohol, like somebody to other things. I had an addiction to these things, and I had to find out the best way how to break that. I'll admit, I started January 15, 2019. It was not a red letter day, meaning it wasn't like I jumped up and down. I swear off all this stuff. I started slow, and I weighed in every day, sometimes twice a day. And my weight would go up a half pound, and then it would go down a half pound. My weight went off really, really slow. Because the first about 7 months, I was hovering at about, 30, 40. And then after I got past about 7 months, because I went to England and it was better, meaning my weight was better because you have to walk a lot, of course. However, I noticed as soon as I got back, it started to fall off. The metabolism had changed quite a bit. It still wasn't that fast. It took me almost 2 years to get 150 off.
Wow.
But the point was that I kept educating myself because I knew I had a problem. The times I would go off it, I journaled, I started doing all those things you're supposed to do. Journal your food. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be so concerned about the scale, being weighing every day. I was expecting a miracle when I knew what I had to do is incrementally work on it, my habits, a little at a time. And after I'd been on the plan for almost a year, there was a huge keto symposium where I lived in Phoenix at the time. It was Dr. Westman, and it wasn't like I received a big revelation. What it was the camaraderie of people. There was like over 1,000 people at that thing. That's what really spurred me on to finish the journey, because I saw people all around me with every kind of issue. My issues weren't nearly as bad as theirs, but it gave me the inspiration to come back and finish. And so, yeah, since 2019, and it has improved my health. It isn't just the weight, like you said. It's about the health, the brain fog, everything else. And again, constantly being surprised by events like this, where people encourage you when you're really discouraged. So I'm really grateful for the ketogenic plan. It's really helped me as far as the addiction part is concerned.
140 pounds, that's huge. That's huge.